and I start my year at college.
And let me just say,
it was absolutely no different to school. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. But before we get on with the video, please could you give me a like and a subscribe down below so I know you are enjoying the content. So for today's video, we are going to be speaking about my 1 year diagnosis anniversary. I'm going to be telling you kind of like what's different, what's changed, the pros and the cons of being diagnosed. Let's get on to the video. So it's just gone 1 year since I was diagnosed with ADHD, the combined type. I have been diagnosed, like I keep saying, for a year now, and things have definitely changed. The pros definitely outweigh the cons in my personal circumstance. So I am going to be sharing them with you guys. So one of the cons from being diagnosed is I am more aware of my differences. I know some of the limitations that some ADHDers have. You know, I'm more aware of what I can't do, and sometimes allow that to make me not try. So it, you know, in the back of my head, it's like, I can't do that anyway, so I'm not going to try. So sometimes it can kind of put me off and can make me feel, what's the point? But not all the time. So that's just a con sometimes. It's not an everyday con. The second con is when I want to tell people that I have ADHD, I feel that I don't want to. I'm embarrassed. I almost just, yeah, I just get embarrassed of having that diagnosis. Not because I'm ashamed, it's just I feel that because of the stigma behind ADHD, like not being severe, it's only naughty kids get it, girls don't get it, doesn't impact your daily life kind of thing, I automatically assume people are gonna kind of believe that and agree with it. Sometimes I'd rather just not tell anyone, and that can sometimes make me feel like worthless or like really different. So again, that's kind of a con, but it's not a huge con. Something that isn't really going to affect my everyday life. It does sometimes affect me, but I'm thankful and I'm lucky that I've got good people around me to motivate me and inspire me to just carry on. So yeah, that's my, out of all of this, they're the only two cons that I really have. So the rest is like upbeat from here. So, right, I'm going to quickly talk through the process of the diagnosis that I went through. So yeah, so if you've been watching me from the very beginning, you will know I was 21 when I was diagnosed. That was last September. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy ride since then. But honestly, I can't thank the lady who diagnosed me with ADHD enough. Just her saying she understands and she knows, you know, how hard it is, and she acknowledged just how difficult life has been and will be for me. Just being diagnosed made me feel more like a human. I felt more accepted just by having that diagnosis. I knew that I was going to be labelled. I knew that. I made that decision to be labelled. I was 21 and I made that decision. I made the decision to be medicated. I made the decision to go seek help. I knew I needed help, and I knew there wasn't something quite right throughout my whole journey of like not adulthood, but like childhood, teenagehood, and just coming into like, you know, young adults. I knew there was something not quite ticking right up here. I knew there was something that was just keeping me from reaching my full potential. I went and got some help from a GP, and that's why I'm here today, because I want to help you guys know that you're not alone. There's plenty of us that go through it. So yeah, here's my story. So I went to college. I done media level 2 for 1 year. I done level 3 graphic and photography for a year. Then I done a year at doing public and uniformed services, level 3. So I had 3 long years at college, and the first year, you know, school was very, very bad for me, you know, excluded, blah, blah, blah. And we thought sending me out of town, so I went to a college not in my local town, so I went to a different college, and it was only me and like a few other people that went to my school went there, so it was very, very unlikely I was going to mix with the same type of people that I was in school. We all thought it was going to be a positive change. Obviously I had no diagnosis, so things weren't as clear, and we definitely didn't know what was going to hit us in the face. So I went to college. I wanted to be a policewoman. I had that in my mindset. I wanted to do A-level law, A-level psychology and criminology. I wanted to do that, but unfortunately I didn't get the GCSE results, so I couldn't sit that. So just when I really wanted to, you know, pursue a career in the police force and put my all into it, I met my first hurdle, which was not getting my GCSE results. So that obviously that knocked me back, but I thought, oh, it's going to be a year, you know, I'll get maths next year. So I thought, oh, I'll just do media, easy. Enjoyed it at school, so I thought, great, I'll do that. I start my year at college. Let me just say, it was absolutely no different to school. For me, like, possibly for everyone else, I'm not sure. It got worse as I got older. My first year at college, I had a boyfriend. Thought I was going to marry him, proper loved up and everything, you know, didn't work out, caused family arguments at home. Again, I was still 16 because I was one of the youngest, because my birthday's not till later in the year. I was still very young to be in a serious relationship. But anyway, that happened, family arguments at home. So again, tension was still there at home with parents. And at college, there was trouble everywhere that I went. In class, I was, you know, not doing as I was told, not turning up, doing things I shouldn't be doing, not doing my work, going to see my friend who lives like down the town where I live. So basically going to college and getting back on the train and going like an hour away just to get away from college. I wasn't at all dealing well with the transition from school and college. I don't know why. I think it was because I didn't like not having the strict authority routine kind of thing. I didn't like that. I was really struggling. But anyway, as the first year goes on at college, I just got worse. There was a lady who started to pick up on my attendance to maths.
And was like, I'm going to ring your dad, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to ring your mum, blah, blah, blah.
And I was like, oh my God, no, it's starting again. And I got that feeling in my stomach. I was like, oh no, you know, I'm going to go home and it's all going to kick off, blah, 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 blah. Again, so I was like, no, like, I literally pleaded. I was like,
please don't call my mum. Like, I will go, you know, next lesson, I'll be there. I will shut up and I'll just do it.
She was like, one more chance then. If you don't turn up next time, you know, you got 5 minutes. If you're not there, that's it. Our deal's off. And I was like,
okay.
Next lesson rolls up. I didn't turn up. So, you know, she didn't ring my mum. And I was like,
whoa, I got away with that one.
No, she literally came to my class and was like, right, come in the office, we're going to ring your mum. I was like, oh no, they don't do it like school, you know. I'd rather not know what my mum said on the phone. I sat down, I said, look, I'm really sorry. Made up some rubbish. Said, look, I was in trouble all the time at secondary school. I just really want to change, blah, 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 blah. She was like, okay, benefit the doubt, blah, blah, blah. One more time. I can't remember if I turned up, but I don't think I did. But anyway, with media, this was kicking off in media. My behaviour was getting worse. I was getting leery, just doing what I wanted to. And just not concentrating, being on my phone, having my headphones in, but not allowed to. So with maths and media, they started to think, right, something's not quite right here. So they then like pulled me aside, you know, we're all assigned a tutor. So my tutor was like, right, something's not, you're not telling us the truth here, like what's going on? And I was like, no, I don't know, like blah, 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 I can't help it. And they were like, you can help it, like you're the one making the decisions, blah, 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 blah. Without boring you guys too much, basically what happened was the lady that was dealing with my maths, she turned out to be a behaviour specialist kind of woman. So what happened was I was excluded and kicked out of going to media. They were like, I don't want you coming to class, you can do it from home, blah, 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 blah. But no, this lady was like,
no, she can come and do her college, but she's sitting in a room in my office on her own, like same hours you're at college, she'll be in my office.
Boring. Again, that year went past like really fast. Just, you know, just phone calls home, you're going to be excluded, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. I passed with the merit, so, you know, I scraped through just about, and that got me enough credits to get on to a level 3. Level 3, I done photography and graphics, which is my favourite thing in the whole entire world. Photography and graphics, my favourite. You would have thought I would have been so in love and so passionate and interested. For some reason I wasn't. I didn't like how people were telling me how to take photos, how to edit, how to do this, how to do that. So anyway, it started off a really great year. You know, I had a new tutor. He come up to me and his words were,
I've been warned about you, so you're on my radar, so just look out what you're doing.
in my mind, you know, where I have like PDA, like pathological demand avoidance or whatever it's called, that was almost like someone had set me a challenge. I was like, how dare you say that to me, like blah 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 blah. Me and that tutor did not get on. Like, I knew he wasn't going to vibe with me and I knew I was not vibing with him. So throughout that year I had no real tutor that I went to. I didn't turn up to any of the meetings, but let's just say, long story short, exactly the same as the first year, my attendance was absolutely shocker. Literally I think it was like 25%, and the college were like, you know, you're not even turning up to maths, blah 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 blah.
But
we were told that my mum may have cancer, so, you know, everything stopped. My whole world stopped spinning. She had to go and have like a full hysterectomy. I stepped into the role of mum for my sister, for my dad, weirdly enough. Like, I took control, which is something that I think is amazing with my ADHD. It allows me to be great in a crisis, and I thrived off that adrenaline of like, oh, I'll do it. It was like I had something to do all the time. And yeah, you know, thankfully she didn't have cancer. It was a benign cyst tumour thing on her ovaries, so thankfully, you know, that was great. But I missed about 5 months of college because I didn't want to go. I was worried about my mum, wanted to look after my mum. I just didn't go. I ended up going to work pretty much when I should be at college. I was still sending in my college work from home, but the attendance to college just wasn't happening. I didn't want to go. Every time I did go to college, you know, this tutor would be, you know, nagging, biting my ear off, just going on. And in the end I just said, you know what, can't be bothered. I just didn't want to be there. And yeah, I had friendship falling outs with the class, just everything. But if you guys are interested in my college, I will do a more in-depth version of this. I just don't want to waste time talking about this when I want to just get to my you know, the process of how I got diagnosed. But this is just a story before. Basically, you know, 3rd year of college, I'd done public service. So I wanted to be a policewoman. So you would have thought again, like, wow, come on, Moles, you would have done it, like got fit, done everything. Absolutely not. I was kicked out of college ultimately in my last year of college. They were like, get out now, like, we have had enough of you, your behaviour is ridiculous,
blah blah.
In the nicest way possible. They didn't mean it to offend me, but they said, you know, you have something wrong with you, you know, you can't control what's going on, you need to go now. And well, their words were, we can't deal with your behaviour, so you need to leave. And well, yeah,